Good morning. Welcome on behalf of the Leadership Development and Nominating Committee. Our committee has organized the service for today. Our goal is to make you all aware of the many activity groups available here at the UU Church of Amherst. Sunday services are a big part of what happens here, but so are meetings when we make the choice to meet in small groups and pursue a common goal or simply get to know each other better. Your interests could be reading or outreach or gardening or witch dancing maybe, Some activity groups are new, some follow a current interest, but many others are well established. They all have a chance to connect with others, to deepen your relationship to our beloved church community. Wherever your interests are, the chances are very, very good to find kindred spirits here. My name is Jacqui. I've been a member of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst for 11 years. I currently serve the church as a Sunday usher and as a member of the Leadership Development and Nominating Committee. I've been in the church since I moved back to Western New York in 2013. I also belong to churches in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Texas. I think that makes me some kind of an expert. So I can tell you that our Unitarian Universalist spiritual life experiences is welcoming, adaptable, compassionate, and very strong wherever you find it. Happily found acceptance and a place in each of the churches I just mentioned, and the same thing happened here. I'm so confident of that expectation. When I moved here and was looking for a home to purchase, I drew a third circle around the UU Church of Amherst, and I limited my search to that area alone. I knew it was a good decision. I never looked back. Thank goodness I am no longer such a rolling stone, and I expect to be right here, loving this church for a long time. Throughout my years of I've experienced great fulfillment by working with other congregants on a wide variety of projects. My favorite entry has always been in the kitchen, washing and drying dishes. It is, I guarantee, a great way to meet people. Whether I was serving a community meal, planning a service, or participating in a fundraiser, these experiences have allowed me to connect with others who share my interests and my goals. I could see that our efforts, even if they were minor, played an important part in the success of the church. I've made wonderful friends, of course, but I've also grown in experience and confidence. As a religion, we have a proud history of leadership and service in many areas, especially in the promotion of human rights. I feel proud of both our public and private faces. Within these walls, we seek to support each other as we do the best of our traditions and beliefs. And then, together, we present that face to the world. Two great examples of service are the Little Free Pantry clothing ministry. Without any limitations, our doors are open to all who have the need for the food or the clothing we can provide. And these opportunities are just the beginning. You will hear much more from the presenters who follow. From time to time, I've been fortunate enough to fulfill a leadership role within some of the various committees and groups. It has always been very rewarding and very demanding. Like parenting, I think, you've probably heard that line, parenting is the most frustrating job you will ever learn. I hope that this will be your experience as well, that your contributions to our united effort will increase your confidence and fulfillment, and that you will come to see yourself small that keep all of the for this beloved congregation. Today, we're offering you an overview of some of the many, many activities. Suzanne Crisp will introduce our speakers. Listen carefully. Something will capture your interest or excite your soul and put you on your path of connection, growth, community, and perhaps leadership. Thank you.
We are so glad that you We're so glad that each one of you is here today. If you are a newcomer, I hope you keep coming back and make your spiritual home with us. For those who have already made UU Amherst your home, we hope you will continue to challenge yourself and discover opportunities to learn and serve. Gathered in the chapel, I urge you to either place your phone on airplane mode or turn it off completely to free up the bandwidth for the live stream. Please do so now. I did mine earlier. Everything about our time together has been carefully crafted to create a cohesive experience. So let yourself relax and fully be present to what unfolds around you and within you. You are safe here. You are among friends. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, you are welcome here. Our gathering music this morning can be found in the gray hymnal, page number 347, Gather the Spirit. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing together. When we gather, we employ elements of water and fire to create the sacred space where we can be fully present. We begin with an acknowledgement of our church, that our church is built on holy ground. Land that was nurtured and cultivated by those who occupied it before us. We offer this libation as our giveaway, as we honor the struggle of all people seeking justice and peace. We seek the courage and wisdom to heal the wounds of the past and build a better future story for all our neighbors and all creatures together. It is our custom when we gather to light a chalice, a cup or vessel that symbolizes the gathered community. The flame represents the spirit that each one of us brings to represent the light of truth, the warmth of unity, and the fire of our commitment to bring justice to the world. Please join me in our chalice-lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and gifts. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. I love hearing the babies. As a community of faith, thank you, Linda. As a community of faith, we put our faith in one another. We offer one another promises of how we will aspire to be one together, how we will be with one another. I invite you to join me in sharing our covenant. It doesn't matter if today is your first day or you've already made UU Amherst your forever home. We extend to one another the grace of our covenant. Together we promise to passionate unity, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world. Each week, we bring our whole selves into the sacred place, our joys, concerns, and sorrows. The table where we gather is at the center of the space, a symbol of the community that is the heart of UU Amherst. I invite you to come forward and place a stone or shell on the table labyrinth in recognition of all that you bring and all that you are. May we remember that we are called to heal and bring love to the broken places. Come forward. I place the final stone in recognition of the joys, concerns of those who are participating online. You are embraced by this community.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Let us share a few breaths as we expand our circle to include those who may not be present, but whom we carry in our hearts. We bring into our circle of love and care those who are ill, those who are in pain, either in body or in spirit, those who are lonely, those who are overwhelmed and feeling lost, those who have been wronged. We are part of a web of life that makes us one with all humanity and one with all the universe. We are grateful for the miracle of consciousness that we share, the consciousness that gives us the power to remember, to love, to care. May it ever be so in our lives. Amen, and blessed be. Our story for all ages, is about community, seeing the needs around us and contributing what we can. This is a retelling of a traditional story. There was once a poor family on the neglected part of the city. They tried to be happy. They tried to be a happy family, but times were hard and jobs were not easy to come by. As time went on, they began to feel more and more depressed. You could see the depression etching itself firmly, even in the house they lived in. They no longer bothered to clean the windows. They didn't tend the little patch of garden in front of the house. Paint peeled off the floor, the doors, the walls, and cracks began to appear in the brickwork. One day, the eldest son of the family was out roaming through this town, and he came upon a market. All the sellers had set up wares, and there was a bustle of activity. Glasses. In spite of his feelings of near despair, the boy found himself caught up in the excitement of the morning market. He stopped to watch people buying fruit and vegetables, freshly those tempting cakes. He noticed the queue at the flower stall, and he took a deep breath of pleasure as he passed by and smelled the fresh spring flowers. But the thing that attracted him the most was this little secondhand stall tucked away among the awnings of the regular stalls. He had never noticed this one before. He stopped to investigate. Who wouldn't? And there, in the dark corners, he noticed a beautiful blue vase. Rapidly, he felt for the coins in his pocket. He had just enough to meet the modest cost of the vase. But there would be nothing left over. Oh, well, he thought to himself, why not? Even if it's rude, it's going to be okay. I'm going to buy this vase. Mom will love it. Everyone will love it. And he gave the coins from his to the merchant. As the merchant wrapped the vase in brown paper, merchant said to the boy, enjoy it, won't you? And treat it well, because it is a magic vase. With these mysterious words ringing in his ear, the boy went home proudly carrying his purchase. Everyone at home was delighted with the vase and at him for spending the money on it. Quite the opposite, in fact. They enjoyed it and placed it in the center of the table. When Dad saw the vase, he realized how wonderful this little small contribution was to the house and the family in comparison to how shabby the room looked. Well, Dad went to the cellar, got out his paintbrushes, and gave the rooms a new coat of paint to brighten things up. The son saw his dad working and helped out. When the second son saw how nice the rooms looked with those fresh coats of paint, he got out a bucket of water and washed the windows for the first time in years. The dad and the son helped out, and they got it done in no time at all. When the third son looked out these bright, new, clean windows, he realized what a terrible state the garden was in and went out and dug it over. Dad, the first son, and the second son all contributed. When the fourth son, newly dug garden, he planted seeds in the flowers and watered them lovingly all through the spring. Everyone helped water this newly planted garden. When summer came at last, and the youngest child, a daughter, went out to play in the garden, she noticed the flowers that had been grown from seeds, and she gathered a bunch of them, brought them into the house, and put them in the lovely little vase. The rest of the family saw how lovely the vase was. They each, in turn, the dad, the mom, and all four boys went out and picked a flower and added their flowers to the vase on the table. It really was a magic vase, as it brought the family together. What a lovely little house they all had now. This brightened mood and helped them feel less despair. And this all happened because each saw a need and each contributed what they could. Now, let us sing our children and youth to their activities.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Suzanne Christ, and today I am standing here as a member of the Leadership Development and Nomination Committee. But this is only one since I joined this church in January of 2008. Thank you, Marlana, for that beautiful story. Today, I have the privilege of introducing to you a very special group of leaders from within our church. Each of these leaders represents one or more teams that happen right here. You may also note that each has a different colored flower to our beautiful blue vase. I will talk more about that later. Now, I ask that each leader come forward to introduce yourself and tell us about the group or groups you represent, the joy your participation brings to you, and the service it provides to our church and our larger community. Wendy, Scott, would
Morning, everyone. Probably most of you know me as Wendy Scott. I'm here to talk about the Green Justice Team, but I have to say a word or two. I'm not very visible as a member of the Board of Trustees, but I am very visible as Ms. Coffee. So I would like to say thanks to my partner in Palmere, because we're always around doing coffee on Sunday morning. However, I'm going to say something a little formal and a little informal about the Green Justice Team. This group is a central part of the church's mission, and I'll remind everybody of the seventh principle, which states that the UU practices respect for the independent web of all existence of which we are a part. And we can see this every time we turn our head. In carrying this out, many activities allow you to be active in ways that appeal to you. And these include the Living Green Festival, the Insight Speaker Series, the Green Sanctuary, recycling projects, which are confined to this church and also the municipality, paper recycling, solar panels that provide us with electricity, rain barriers, the Debbie Waterhouse Ecology Center out back with labyrinths, you may. And one of the latest project is that we have become a farmer pirates post pickup site. There is not time this morning to describe all of these and the other things, but you may find out by asking me or other people. There are people on the Green Justice Team. More informally, I'd like to say that, well, it's a cliche now that we live in an anxious time on many fronts, but what time is in history has never been anxious. And we can't do much to change the world on our little corner of it, and we can take care of our property. We can plan projects such as I have enumerated, and in doing so, we have a very good time. We meet friends, interesting and useful information. We enjoy a bit of nature that we have, all 11.6 acres of it, and just in general, ourselves and have a useful time. So I heartily encourage you to see if there isn't some little corner of an activity you enjoy being part of. Some of these things go on all the time. Some of these things are seasonal, and some just come up once. Back to the more formal stuff. The team is still in the process of regrouping COVID. Most of our efforts in 23 and 24 have gone into launching and consolidating our Living Green Festival and this year's Insight Speaker Series. We look forward to reforming, something I'm going to do early in the new year, and adding to the member list, and then getting together and reorganizing projects and see who's interested and who wants to do what. So look for some emails. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dian Tucker, and I'm with the Clothing Ministry, and I'm proud to say I'm wearing it. So whoever donated this, thank you, because it was just lovely. The Clothing Ministry is a charm of the church, but it's also to keep clothing out of landfills. And we affectionately call our group Out of the Closet. Our clothing ministry started in 2020 when we had a lot of stuff in the basement left over from a planned rummage sale that never really happened. So the idea was to back outside and put things out and see if people wanted them, because after all, if you can't afford food, you probably need clothes too. So that wound up being a pretty thing to do. We upgraded the rack over time, and then we put a request to the congregation. We need coats, we need boots, we need hats, and boy, do we need gloves. And we kept putting them out and running out of everything. Boy, did we need coats. So in the summer then, all right, no more coats. We put out sandals, we put out bathing suits, we put out underwear and socks, and we still got rid of it. So the need was great. We were careful that everything we put out was clean and in good condition, and something that we would wear ourselves. So then we asked to put a small cabinet next to the food pantry so we could put purses and shoes and jewelry in it, and lo and behold, it went too. And as it grew, we reached out to communities. We reached out to mothers in need with newborn babies downtown, donated to them. We reached out to Gowns for Prom and donated Colvin. Oh, deal with you. You send us the gowns, we'll send you clothes, clean, folded, in monster boxes that Barry could barely lift. And so we got clothes. Now we estimate that we have probably saved about 5,000 or more units of clothing and accessories out of landfills in one calendar year. So that's every year. So today we've got our little Christmas store out. These are generously donated brand new items. You don't need it, but someone else does. And so we are using the money. This is the first time we've done a fundraiser that doesn't go immediately back into the coffers of the church. We're using it to buy sturdy racks because the coats are breaking our racks and our backs. So please help us today by doing a little holiday shopping, and we'd love to have you join our group as well. Thank you.
Morning. I'm Marie Evans, and I'm wearing 3 hats up here this morning, although I didn't bring props at all. So first up is the Amherst Little Free Pantry, which is right next to the clothing ministry. It's always open, and so it's a daily labor of love to keep it stocked, both purchasing items, organizing donations, and it for users. Because our volunteers come only once a day and there's no way to limit how much any one person takes, there are times when those cabinets are empty, kind of like the clothing racks. The motto of all little pantries is take what you need, leave what you can. We do get some information behind. The Little Movement is a grassroots, crowdsourced solution to local food deficits. Our team has formulated our own mission. We strive towards food justice, sharing nutritious food with those in our community who experience food insecurity affirming the worth and dignity of all, which rolls right into the first of the principles that we used to follow. So why a little free pantry? Food insecurity knows no boundaries. Families and people in need often make trade-offs between food, basic necessities, bills, transportation. People in need don't qualify for traditional eligibility tested staff food pantries. So we don't keep any records about our users, but we have learned through comment cards or interactions that they're people of all ages experiencing underemployment, domestic strife, or health challenges, or homelessness. So anyone can use Amherst Pantry. There's no residency requirement, no questions asked, no paperwork, qualifications necessary. And anyone can help Amherst Little Free Pantry. You can donate and kind of informally, bring grocery items, dry goods, or don't freeze in our unheated storage. Financial contributions, one time or ongoing. Refund the pantry. We have barrels in the by the dumpster enclosure and the compost drop-off that you can bring returnable bottles and cans, and we have someone who takes them back, and it's quite a successful fundraising operation. If you get takeout and you don't use utensils or the condiments, we'll take them. They go. If you travel and there's sample-sized toiletries in the hotel or the Airbnb, bring them back with you. We'll use them. And some people actually use, if they have that shopping benefit, that if they've got enough of their stuff, they'll order some stuff for us, like lotions and shampoos. Publicity, especially anybody who might donate, or corporations that might donate. And we have one-time and ongoing jobs. Some are here, some are at home. You can do them solo, with a friend. There's some small group activities, and there's also outreach to the community. There is a whole list here. There are things to do in person, there are things to do at home, there are things to do on the computer, there are things to do out in the community. And if you'd like to learn more, we'll be at noon today in the hallway outside the library living room at the bottom of the staircases for the second floor, and we're going to do a quick orientation. Pantry volunteers get the satisfaction of knowing their time and effort makes a real difference in people's lives. We see firsthand how much this ministry is needed. I've personally had the experience, if I'm here for a half an hour, 4 people will come and take things out of the pantry. When I talk to people out in the public, they're often surprised by the concept. I've never heard of such a thing, and they're willing to contribute. The generosity of our donors renews my faith in and compassion of mankind, and we have fun together, fundraising ideas into being, like the witch dance. So now I'm going to change over to book club. Book club meets monthly after the service from September through May on the last Sunday, and once over the summer for a potluck luncheon. We alternate a common read book topic where each person chooses their own book to read. Some of the topics we've discussed this year were Any Book by Anne Lamott, Time, Disability, and our specific books were Lessons in Chemistry, The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store, The Dictionary of Lost Words, and Haggitude. Our get-together, we took turns reading out loud from the book Women. And we had an unusual opportunity this year to be first readers of Why, which is a book that's written by our office administrator, Elaine Harrigan. And she joined us to talk about the process of writing the book and getting it published. All to our guests, whether or not you've done the reading, books are a wonderful way to bond with other people and have interesting discussions. We share not only thoughts, but experiences and memories that relate to the themes in the books. And our group was founded by the late Grace Little as a way to foster our personal acquaintance into a friendship, which it most certainly did, and then we extended that to other people. And finally, theater lovers. We have the opportunity to attend Jewish repertory theater at a discount. And I organized a group outing once during the run of each show to go to a Sunday matinee and dinner afterwards together at Libro's Italian restaurant. Jewish Rep chooses 3 scripts per season. It's a mix of comedies and dramas, and it in town. We get tickets for $30 each, which is a significant savings over the box office price of $48 each. And this a couple of us even got together to go to Shakespeare in Delaware Park, and that's a free event, and we carpooled and we brought our own picnic. So theater lovers is one more way to build connections with other people, and the plays give us a starting point, excuse me, a starting topic for our dinner conversation, and then other conversation naturally flows.
Hi, I am Lauraine Marcus. I have been asked to talk about the villages, UU University Sunrise Sessions, and Church of the Wild, which will bring into creative meditation and conversations in January. Villages are online gatherings, primarily social, that had its origins in the pandemic. There are 3 still going, 2 meeting weekly and 1 that is more or less monthly. And they are Zoom. UU Sunrise Sessions is also online, and that meets Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning. It's a check-in followed by a conversation stimulated by an inspirational thought that we get from Daily Compass from the Church of the Larger Fellowship, which is a offspring of UU, the larger UU Association. Church of the Wild, which finished Sunday of November, provided an opportunity for meditating, walking the trails and labyrinths in the Debbie Waterhouse Ecology Center, Sundays at 9:30 in the morning, from late spring until, like I just said, the last Sunday of November. Got a little brisk. Weather did not stop us, rain, whatever. We dressed for the weather. We're very regular. So those are the 3 programs that I kind of facilitate. It's more of a facilitation than a running. I turned to the UUA website looking for what these 3 groups have in common, and I found that they actually represent a religious practice, Unitarian Universalism, and more importantly, UU Amherst, then 10:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning. It is what we do 7 days a week, living our faith by doing. With respect to the Villages, Sunrise Sessions, and Church of the Wild / meditation, it is connection and care, outreach and mutual support for each other, for those who participate in these groups, and creating change in ourselves and in each other. So welcome anybody to check these out. These are open groups. You can drop in, you can come in daily, you can come whenever they're offered. Then you can find the, for these villages and sunrise, you just have to check out either the newsletter or the Friday update to get access to them. So check us out. And for the creative meditation conversations that's going to start up in January, just have to early enough and show up at 9:30 in the morning on a Sunday. So check us out.
Hello, everybody. A short joke. I enjoy Groat, and I have lots of hats too. I'm a member of this congregation for, I think, coming up on 25 years now with my husband Eric, 5 children, and all of them have a good dose of UUism in. I lead, I guess, 2 groups. One of them is called Connection. To me, Connection is really the heart of what makes us who we are. It's a group of people that want to be intentionally welcoming to newcomers and gathering people that have been here already and knitting them all together. Nice little package. The mission of the Connections team, which we developed, is to develop a welcoming and inclusive community where all ages can explore a personal path to spirituality and to provide opportunities that nourish deep connections, individual growth, and wholeness. Anyone is welcome to join our team. Sometimes we break off into little subgroups to accomplish certain tasks. We meet in person and online, and we work together via email. We have a volunteer schedule, so Sunday mornings run smoothly, and a volunteer spreadsheet that we maintain that does that we encourage people to sign up for different jobs that make things work. We actively look for new faces at coffee, start conversations. We work together with faith development to support families. Lots of ways to be involved, from big to small. Let Linda Joy know, me. Want to be added, we have a Google group that we put out an email. You can let me know. So the goals of the team, like I said, are to welcome newcomers and nurture current congregants, to connect people quickly to meaningful relationships and interests, to develop activities for all ages, including youth, to grow membership in the congregation, and to recruit, train, and support volunteers who serve our congregation. We have some priorities for 2025. Making website improvements. I've done some research. Lots of you know that I really love my research. Our connection cards, people fill them out, and it translates to that most people are finding us on the internet or with family and friends. And so I feel like the improvements to the website are really important to access the information that they're looking for. Empowering our congregation goal year, training for inclusivity and growth. We're committed to providing training that enhances our congregation's ability to be more welcoming and inclusive. Our goal is to foster an environment where we can grow together and nurture both our members and the broader community. The Unitarian Universalist Association, which is our national, has wonderful resources for us to use, and I'm going to offer some more information on training. There's a particular one interested in, which is called Tending the Congregational Life, and it's maybe about, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 hours of training. It covers all aspects of the congregation, and I welcome anyone who would like to be involved in that to look for the information of it coming. I also offer leadership in the gardening area. We have lots of beds around campus, and we're lovingly tended by the late Betty Howell and her team. And I noticed that it was really difficult to keep them up, so I wanted to start that. Also, Angela Warren, who was our faith development of them, and she's not doing that now. So I was worried about it, and I started encouraging people to pay attention to it. So now we have a nice community garden, which is in the front. We've got lots of different things growing, not now, but usually. But it's to replant, and now I've got a nice little core team. So anyone that's in learning about gardening or being part of it, just getting your hands in the soil. We work with the kids in the spring to start planting seedlings, and we really enjoy that. So our mission is to offer positive experiences to youth, learn about plant development, soil and gardening, and just to enjoy being outside. If we grow things that we can share in our food pantry, that's a plus. So anyone's welcome to join. We offer strong opportunities to garden together, and also people do it on their own. And encourage input and leadership. We'll be having a planning meeting along with the larger grounds committee, which talks about the entire campus and how we manage that, on January 31st and at 3 o'clock in your, again, a Google group for that, and let me know if you'd like to join. And the third thing that I do is I really like Brene Brown, since Michelle introduced me to her, and she worker that does research in difficult emotions like empathy and vulnerability. And I've like to lead another group based on her book, one of her books. I'm not sure which one yet, but I'm just gathering that in the newsletter and the weekly. I'd like to be part of that, which is really more of an individual exploration within a group context. Let me know also. So thank you.
I'm sorry, a water break.
Well, you've been hearing a lot of things we do in this church, and now I've got to find my little short. I've been a member for 41 years. I just did the math. And I came for my children and I stayed for myself. It is a wonderful place to be. So many friends here. And I've had many responsibilities. Making coffee, being on the board, and I'm talking to you today about things that I'm doing now. One of them is called Poetry as Practice. This group started Elena Rice, by the way. Sorry. My flower. That story, it's really about all of our contributions, and I know so many of you have contributed too. The first is practice. This group started several years ago and continues to meet once a month. In fact, we meet today. You do not have to love poetry to attend. In fact, last month someone said, well, I don't like poetry. I have very many people here, so I'm coming. And they actually enjoyed it. So it's kind of cool. We're a group of people who gather and listen and discuss a poem and talk about its deeper meaning. We gather on Sunday of each month, today, in the living room, and we either use one poet's work or we have a theme being addressed by different poets. That's what will happen today. Today we have me and Anais Nin. Interesting. The topic is transformation. This group was started to give folks in the church a chance to connect by looking at and discussing poetry from various authors and offering their own reflections. And I have learned so much from someone else's understanding or meaning. It's brought me deeper understanding. I personally find that poetry as a practice is, and that this group helps me deepen my understanding of the world around me. A group of people who find meaning and inspiration in the words of others. Please join us at noon on the second Sunday of each month in the living room for Poetry as Practice. We meet today, and all are welcome, and no prep is needed. The second group that I'm going to talk about is our covenant groups. Covenant is an agreement or promise to act together in harmony. We have wonderful covenant groups within the church. These are groups formed to allow and promote discussion and connect discussion on topics such as generosity, integrity, equity, and for this month, it's transformation also. The material we use are provided by our national organization, the UUA. And part of the material is called Soul Matters. Our groups meet once a month at church or in someone's home and provide for intimate fellowship and conversation. The composition of these groups male and female, with a number within each group approximately 8, but some are less and some. This number allows the members to all feel that they are being heard and held close. These are wonderful. Members can share their experiences on a topic while being guided by questions from the literature provided. The discussions within these groups are deep and meaningful, with members looking forward to each meeting. If this sounds interesting, please talk with our minister, Michelle Buhite, who is here in our congregation this morning, to discuss joining or starting your own group. Thank you very much.
I'm Ron Palmere, and I make the coffee for the coffee hour after service. Whoa, thank you. More importantly, caring for one another team. Our mission is to do what we can to contribute to the church's mission, which is to foster more compassion and to help build a beloved community. To briefly summarize our goals, first, to stay in touch with homebound or shut-in members with visits or phone calls so that they do not feel like they've been forgotten. To send cards to members for various occasions. To provide and coordinate rides to church, and there's a volunteer available to help out. To offer a meal for an individual or a family when notified of a need. To provide monthly meal recipes in the monthly forward that include vegan and gluten-free alternatives. To be a coalition church with the Hearts and Hands program through an annual Sunday service, which will be coming up in a couple of weeks, and a plate collection. If you have any questions about our caring team or would like to, please contact me after this morning's service, by phone or email. I'm in the directory. Again, the main purpose of our caring for one another is to foster more compassion and to help build a beloved community.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm looking here now for my little piece. Paper clip part. This one over here. All right, thank you. Anyways, while I'm looking, I just should introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Peggy Cook, and I am actually only been a member here at the U since July, though I have been a friend of the U for 8 years. But in July, I got angry and decided that I needed to join the church if I was going to be effective in working on programs. And so at that point with Ruth Bowen, I went to Reverend Michelle and said, we need to do something about justice in our world right now. At this point, Lauraine Marcus, Robin, and myself, leaders of the recently formed Justice Advocacy Team. Our vision is to provide advocacy and education for ourselves as well as the community at large in light of the proposed changes in our governmental structures. Our long-term goal is to support vulnerable populations that would be negatively impacted. We're doing these things through presenting educational programs, offering access to seminars and workshops offered within the UUCA as well as other advocacy groups, and also beginning outreach with other churches and nonprofits to strengthen collaboration for community good. If you would enjoy learning more about how we can enjoy outreach work, or would like to have a voice with our Robin or I about some of the tasks we're currently to undertake. This next Saturday at 9 o'clock here at the U, we will be hosting the gathering of a couple of community groups to talk about what is happening and to be of how we can all work together in the community as well as within the church, trying to pull together an idea of where we're moving forward from here, because moving forward is what we need to do and make a difference in what's going to happen. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marcille to talk about the women. There's been a women's group here at our church for decades in various forms. Currently, we are a group varying in size from 8 to 16. COVID changed our meetings, resulting in us meeting on Zoom for most of the month. We discuss many topics from events around the world, in America, New York State, our counties, our villages, and our church. Zoom allows contact with the couple snowbird group, but on the first Tuesday of the month, we meet in person in the Emerson room for a lunchtime chat. We keep in touch with how everyone has been doing during the week before, and sometimes the conversation goes to the mystery of why If you are free on Tuesdays at 12:30 p.m. and would like to connect with this great group, and the weekly email for the schedule and the link to the Zoom meeting. I will send you, if you're on my list, I'll send you a notice on Monday night. Come and join us. We'd love to have you.
Where's mine? There it is. The UU Amherst Church is now 70 years old, and my parents brought me here when I was 10 years old. You know, they had church school. I've liked being a member ever since then. It's been wonderful. My father and a number of male UUCA churches were getting together and having coffee and a snack once a week at Walter's Bakery to have discussions about our church and anything else. After my father passed away in 1999, I contacted them to see if I could join them, and they invited me for the weekly meeting. Even though a number of other members of the group at that time have passed away or moved from Western New York, our church have also joined the group, and we still have a weekly Thursday meeting for lunch at Walter's. The members are Hinnie Martins, Bob Wack, Dave Stroud, and Irv Lau. Brother Randy is also showing up at times. We are still having good discussions about our church and country, and it continues to help us get things done in church and plan any other get-togethers. In addition, my brother Barry and I began another UUCA men's group that has coffee and snacks at Dashes on Tuesdays. Other church attendees at this are Rich Marcille, Tom Langen, and Per Rolsvig. And Joe Cosgrove was with us before he moved with his wife to Massachusetts. Again, we laugh, enjoy comments, and learn what's going on in the world. And I hope you're all having discussions with other church members. Thank you.
Paperwork so well organized, and now I have to figure out where we are. As you can see, our beautiful blue vase is now filled with different beautiful colored flowers. These represent the variety of hands it takes to form teams and events, creating something remarkable. Each of these leaders have given you a glimpse of what they, along with all our other volunteers, have and continue to accomplish. Their cohesive and caring efforts bring and move us forward. They promote self-care, growth, and of spirit that enrich the lives of our church, community. For this, we sincerely thank you and the volunteers you represent. I would like to recognize. He works quietly and most productively behind the scenes. His knowledge of video equipment was what kept us going through the COVID years and continues to enrich our services. He also has created our beautiful labyrinths in the Ecology Center. I could go on and on for all that he does behind, but he tends to be a little shy. So let the accolades suffice as we give a recognition of service to Dr. Les White. Yes, Michelle, I'm going off script for a second. Our committee would like to most sincerely thank Reverend Michelle. Without her, we never could have put this together. We had no idea the bits and pieces that go together to try to find the right words and make them. So we loved having you help us. And please, please, please take back during our doing the Sunday sermons. And lastly, but very importantly, thanks to Amy, who was very tardy in asking for her help doing singing, but she came through for us anyhow. And you are so fortunate, because otherwise, Marlana and Jacqui would have been leading the singing, and you would have been so sorry. So thank you for us. I apologize because we are running over severely. But it was very important, we felt, that you learn what all these people do for us. Please continue to learn about all we have to offer you during coffee time. You'll recognize presenters. We were hoping to have specific name tags for them, but if not, recognize them by face, or any of us by face, and we'll direct. Now, we have a song. There seems to not want, there we go. Les. The song in response is another UU and one that Jacqui did, Blue. You can find the music in the Teal Hymnal 1064. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing.
Please be seated. Please be seated. We've heard a lot about connections and belonging today. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I know it's a little long. Making time for offerings of gifts and pledges is an act of faith, an opportunity for us to live into the core values of Unitarian Universalism, generosity. Our generosity connects us to one another in the relationship of and mutuality. This congregation exists because of you, the acts of service you engage in, and your generous contributions. Every aspect of relational life is made possible because of the generosity of and you. If you'd like to help pass the baskets along the aisle, please rise and the usher will bring one to you. The offering will now be gratefully received. We began our service with lighting of the chalice, a symbolic act to remind us that each of us is a spark that creates the flame, each one of us to represent the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of our commitment to more compassion and justice to the world. We extinguish this chalice not to quench the flame, but to return it to our individual hearts, strengthened by the time spent together, so that we are our light in the world. Please join me as we extinguish our flame and accept the renewed flame in your own heart, that each of us might bring more light and love to a dark and hurting world. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. As our service draws to a close, our service to the world is ready to begin. You will find many opportunities for growth and service in your order of service and on our website. All are invited to stay for coffee and in the Emerson room, which is through the double doors or through the back of the chapel or through the lobby. And remember, in the lobby are all already got two. Parents, please remember to bring your children with you. I like seeing the kids. And feel free to take them to the playground with your supervision, but it's cold outside. Check out the lobby for some jewelry and other for sale from the clothing ministry and their basket wraps. This is an excellent opportunity to shop for new and nearly new. We'll go to purchase more sturdy racks for the clothing ministry, as you heard today. Today is the end of the sale, so don't put it off. Next week, John Snodgrass will be our guest speaker with Creeps, those feelings of anxiety and overwhelm. John is positive and entertaining, so don't miss this opportunity to hear him. I love the sound of kids. My kids came when they were young, so it's good. As you are making your holiday plans, don't forget to include our winter solstice service on the morning of December 22nd and our Christmas Eve service. It gets dark at about 4, so it's an early evening. These services will be very different from one another, with the 22nd honoring our relationship with the earth and filled with pagan references, honoring the birth of the Christ child and promise of peace on earth. As always, you'll find many opportunities for community, personal growth, and service in the newsletter or on our website. Remember, this becomes your place as you participate in the life of this congregation. And now please rise in body and spirit as we sing our closing. Standing out for the benediction. Worship need not cease. It can echo in our lives, in our deeds, in our moods, in our dreams. Carry the echo with you wherever you go. Be a blessing. Amen. Amen.